And good evening, everybody. Welcome aboard and welcome back to episode 158 of New York Red Bull Discussion Group, the podcast. Garry Redmond here at your service. Well, this weekend was basically lined up to be, the stars are lined up and everything else for Red Bulls to do the right thing, except they didn't do the right thing. They lost. And we're going to talk about that with my partner, Nick Lianos, who is chomping at the bit to just give everybody a low rating on his post-match report. We'll talk about that, of course. And, of course, we get ourselves ready when the Red Bulls make a trip across the border to Montreal as they take on Club de Foot Montreal, a place where other than Subaru Park, Stade Saputo is also a house of horrors for the New York Red Bulls, and we'll actually tell you about that why after the break. Plus, of course, updates and reviews and previews for New York, New Jersey, and Gotham FC. Remember them? The last time we talked about 2 weeks ago, they were in 8th place. Now they're in 3rd. The girls, the baddies, are soaring. And New York Red Bulls, too, they're just playing the stretch to get ready for the playoffs, which will happen about a month from now. Now, of course, as always, the live streaming is going on right now for those of you guys tuning in. Glad to see you. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts, of course, about what happened Saturday, of course, Saturday to come. You can always catch the recording on demand on our YouTube channel, X, which is formerly Twitter, and, of course, our home from the very beginning, Spotify.com. If you happen to miss the live show, don't worry. All of those episodes are going to be uploaded on Wednesday. So right after our midnight, they'll be there for your watching and viewing pleasure. And of always, and we say this in every show, but it definitely happens. Meaning, if you have any questions or comments about the podcast, about our our hosts, our content, and everything else, do send us an email. We love reading them even after we sign off. RBDG the podcast at gmail.com. RBDG the podcast, one word, at gmail.com. Send them our way. We'd love to hear your thoughts long after we sign off. Of course, no horn today because we lost and City won. Right now, they're getting to hold a 2-game lead over our yearly standings. So now things get interesting. There are 4 matches left. The excuses are basically run out at this point for the New York Red Bulls and, of course, the front office. They're going to have to step up here because the good news is because thanks to City doing us a favor, we're still 2 points behind. And as I bring in my good friend Nick Lianos, if you're wondering what happened to Lon Ray and, of course, the Viper, they're both out sick. How does both people get caught with Rona? I know it's still going around, but they're both out sick because of it. I mean, first of all, I want those guys to get well soon. Okay, nobody wants that stuff, in your system. Just relax, rest, and get back in the game when you're all said and done. Because you're not fun when you're not 100% healthy, and that is a fact. But Nick, I saw your post-game, or what I call it, your post-mortem. Man, did not hold back. I mean, low marks everywhere. Did you feel that this game was winnable, or for all intents and purposes, they should have done better?
Well, I thought this game was winnable because we caught them at a good time. They were getting people up to speed. They had 4 new people trying to get up to speed, and we came out like we've never kicked a soccer ball a day in our life.
They were flat.
There was no emotion. They were flat. They were uninspired. The first 30 minutes was, I think, the worst 30 minutes I've seen them play as a team. There was no fight. There was no anything. There was no energy. They were just out there like, all right, this is a practice game. We'll be okay in a couple of days. No, fellas, this is your life at this point. What are you doing?
I mean, it really, it boggled me. It was like, okay, don't these guys, you're playing for the season here, guys. I mean, if you don't do this here, there's no guarantee you're going to do that back in Stade Saputo. But it kills me when I talk. When we talk to the coach before this game, Nick, and I want to make everyone understand this. The very first thing I asked of the coach was like, okay, you haven't, you only have one win away from, Sports Illustrated Stadium. What is with this team and the fact that you guys seem to not click on the road? I mean, even if this team somehow makes it, their chances of going forward are very, very small. And so, I don't understand where's the urgent. There was no urgency. There was no, you know, light on a fire or anything else. There was no, okay, we're going to do gangbusters. We're going to treat this as a playoff game. And if that was going to be the playoff game, that's going to be the sorriest of all performances they had away from Sports Illustrated Stadium. I, I hate to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. They're better off not making the show. They're not. They're better off than making the tournament, man. It's just not there. Just not there.
Do you want us to get into the playoffs as a ninth seed playing the Smurfs?
Or Miami?
I don't think Miami will be in a knockout in ninth position eighth spot when they.
Oh no, they got eight. They got 8 games.
They got 4 games in hand, and then everybody. But do you want? This is going to be the most embarrassing thing that we're going to see. If we get into the playoffs and the ninth spot, because I don't see us overtaking the Smurfs or Miami, or I think it's Columbus in front of them.
Yeah,
above them.
We're going to Chicago can still slip on the banana peel, and then things really get interesting from there.
It's going to be the worst thing ever. It's going to be the most embarrassing thing ever. We're going to play the Smurfs in our home stadium because the Yankees are going to be in the playoffs, the Mets are going to be in the playoffs, so that eliminates them from hosting the game. We're going to play them in our stadium with them having tickets. How embarrassing it's going to be.
Oh, very much so. I mean, in so many ways, if the unthinkable happens up in Montreal, City is waiting in the wings to kill them off. So that could be, a scenario worth having. Yeah. So
City's going to play us after playing Miami at home. They're not going to be leaving the New York area for 2 weeks.
No,
they're going to sit home. They're playing a game Wednesday against Columbus, and then they play a game against Toronto. Then they get Miami that Wednesday, a makeup game, and then they get us.
Right. So they're going to play. They're going to basically play they're going to play a string of games, 3 games in 7 days. Okay. That could be rough, but you're right. They're going to be mostly at home. They're not going to go, very much anywhere. So, one last thought before we do the match recap. Go ahead.
Yeah, if we get, that's the worst thing that we can get into the playoffs. If we get into the playoffs, how are we going to get into the playoffs when we can't even show up on the road?
That's a very good question. I mean,
we scored 9 goals the whole season on 15 road games. 9 goals.
That's it. You don't go. I mean, I'm sorry. You don't. I mean, you don't get to go very far in the playoffs with that type of stat line. You just don't. And we can, as they say, we can point, left and right. How you doing, Lisa? Zenado. I don't know who that person is, but nice nickname, Zenado. It just boggles the mind that a team with this type of talent. I'm not saying they had loads of talent, but they should have had more. I mean, you can't bank on excuses, with this squad. They had, them in the organization had opportunities to clean this up. They didn't. It's just crazy how we're having a half season where we're doing great at home. We stink on ice on the road. I mean, I ask people, do you really want to be like Los Angeles? Because, yeah, I'd rather have a cup and have a season like they're having a season from hell. But,
But they qualify for Champions League.
Yeah, they qualify for Champions League, and we don't. Unfortunately. So, as I say,
go ahead. I said they played great in the Leagues Cup tournament, and look what they got. They got 3rd place finish, and they got Champions League spot. So they can. That's what they were going for since the league was a disaster. What else are you going to do?
Yep. I mean, that's the only. The Los Angelinos fans. I mean, they should be happy that they're going to be playing Confederation football. We, on the other hand, are just holding on to what's left at this point. And then the reason why we're talking about this, well, I know a lot of people say, Gary, why are you playing this stuff when we lose? Sorry, we're contractually obligated to play recaps regardless if we win or lose. It's an MLS thing. So this is what happened in the Pacific Northwest, which before I play this, I'm a little jealous, Nick. I mean, their fan base is just awesome.
They made that statement.
Awesome.
It was a great environment. I went there. It was a great environment to watch a game.
I mean, I'm jealous.
It's an old baseball stadium that they converted.
It works perfectly.
It's loud. It's old enough that you can see the seats. It's still like from the old time baseball stadium, and it's loud. And if they made a lot of improvements to it, so you can see the suites and everything that were in there
on the opposite side, yeah.
But it's nice, small. Everybody's on top of each other. They're the Timbers Army. Wow, they'll get you involved in a game.
Yeah. And so, here's what went down in the Pacific Northwest on Saturday.
Got to win away games if you're the Red Bulls, if you have any hopes of defending your Eastern Conference crown.
Yeah, fascinating 2025 Jekyll and Hyde performances. They've scored 34 goals at home, just 8 away. That is tied for worst in Major League Soccer.
The Timbers in their green.
It's almost a box 4 between the 2 defensive midfielders and the 2 center backs. And then effectively, it's a front line of 6.
This is Rojas. It's all the way through. The 2 players that just arrived combined. But Velda judged to have been offside. They will take another look.
Take another look at the freeze, and here's going to be the judgment. That's so close. And listen, we always have this theoretical conversation of the tie should... As much as we're always talking about goals and the need for goals is specific to on the road.
Great hopping ball. Velda gives it Rojas a chance, and he's converted! That brought down some rain! Velda to Rojas!
He's been the soft side defender. That's the concern for the Red Bulls. Early ball put in a dangerous spot. Ball's just bouncing around, Max. And as Velda hooks it back.
Choupo-Moting. It's been excellent. 15 goals. Fired this back end. It was Carmona off his left leg.
Similar to the conversation with Evander and Santi Moreno, but those are also players maybe understanding in the moment that they have a certain amount of control that they can affect opportunity.
Forsberg, Sofo, shakes, fires, Pantemis keeps it in front of him. It was onside.
Yeah, you can see the frustration for Sofo. He does.
This exclusive NetCam replay is brought to you by T-Mobile.
Well, he comes inside out, and the save's right in the hands. Just put 7 on the Philadelphia Union tonight. They got to go to Seattle, and then they got that final decision day match against San Diego in the regular season.
Well hit, Anthony, and Cardinale just able to block it with his undercarriage.
With the line coming across, Nealis plays the ball back. He underhits it, and yeah, just deflects. Forsberg doing a great job breaking down the 4-2-4 press support.
It's been fun to watch Forsberg in the second half. Nealis maybe anticipating Hall to stay put. Berggren, tight corners. Forsberg has tied it. You could see it coming. We talk about all these players that have to step up. Emil Forsberg says, get on my back, I'll take you there. 1-1.
Is it Ortiz, I believe, gets the touch. Joao Ortiz, watch the touch from Ortiz. The shot comes in, it doesn't matter right now. He gets the touch, and that's where Forsberg gets a gift. Build up down the left-hand side. Big switch of the field. Nealis, first ball, doesn't come through. Hall tries to redirect it, comes across, and yeah, Ortiz touches it. So it doesn't matter where he's at. Emil Forsberg, he turns, he pivots, he finishes a fantastic goal. Offside, they're checking all of the different implements of the buildup from that left-hand side. But that looked like Joao Ortiz got the final touch. Yep, take away the conversation for possible offside. Goal is confirmed. New York Red Bulls have leveled on the road in the 71st minute. And now, 72nd minute, they find themselves how do they manage this 1-1 result?
Ooh, Kelsey in the near post. Acosta! Velda! Cardinal! Brought to you by T-Mobile.
They take another look at the buildup and this opportunity, this chance. Valdez from Carlos Cornell.
The equalizer has awoken the Timbers! And they're back in front! It's Anthony!
But none in the last 5 matches. He's hunting down this left-hand side. Completely unmarked as Nealis is trying to overload. The question is he...
Berggren. Edwards. Full head of steam. Calls his own number. Punched out of there. Pantemis. Almost back in by Choupo-Moting, who was offside. From Timber Joey. 7th minute of stoppage time. Portland almost home. There is the full-time whistle from Joe Dickerson. For the first time since July the 25th, Portland win a game.
And, of course, naturally, we are still stuck at 40 points. 2-1 the final score. Forsberg in the 70th minute was the only tally the Red Bulls had. Rojas and Antony, the 73rd minute. Rojas in the 28th. That goal hurt. It really did. Forsberg, he scored his 10th goal in MLS in the season, his 19th of his career. Midfielder has recorded 8-goal contributions, 6 against Western Conference opponents this season. He's now tied with, guess who? Amadou Guevara, 2004, and Lloyd Sam, 2015, for 6th place in franchise histories with the most goals, MLS goals scored by a single season by a midfielder. Forsberg and forward Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting became the first Red Bulls duo to score 10-plus MLS goals in a single season since Bradley Wright Phillips and Daniel Royer back in 2018. Remember that year? Man? 2018. That was a magical year. Defender Marcelo Morales made his MLS debut in tonight and that match. So when it's all said and done, you talked about it, and everyone saw it. They looked lackadaisical. They looked slow. They looked plodding. It's almost like jet lag had grabbed them by the throat, slowed them, slammed them down to the tarmac, and dared them to get up. They tried to get up, and they've been trying to sleepwalk ever since. They got the goal in the second half off a gift, but couldn't capitalize.
A little break. Listen, you got a little break here and there. And he knew how to finish it. And that's the most important part of the break. He had the chance and he buried it. It didn't help that Choupo played his worst game of the season that day. After that, he was lucky not to get red carded and be sent off by that early foul that he did late in this first half.
The high boot.
It was a little reckless at that point, but he was lucky. He didn't get caught. Didn't get the red card. He stayed on. There was no service to the guy. He was out there trying to create. He was running back to midfield, trying to get the ball, trying to help the team go forward. And in the first half, there was nothing coming his way.
And that's been our concern, right, Nick? What are you going to do when the service isn't consistent? What are you going to do when the service is just simply not there? When you see email going far back to bring the ball forward, that's an indictment on the midfield. No,
look what they had to do in the second half. They brought in Gustav Bregan, who actually played very well in it for his. I could say he debuted. He played 3 minutes the other week, 2 weeks before, but this week you saw him on the field. He knew what he was doing. It looks like he couldn't be a perfect fit for this team. That's what we need. Dunkard came on the field, and the ball was moving forward.
Forward, right? Not backwards.
Not forward. Side to side. We were moving the ball forward.
And that's when the dangerous chances came, right?
Edwards was moving, forgetting about his defense a little bit, like what we expected, but he was moving forward. Everything was going towards the attack, and now we just need to get Choupo service. And the final pass to Choupo was never coming. Get the guy some service. We're doing. If I see another set play to the back post to Tim Parker when the game's on the line, I'm gonna lose everything. I didn't know. I'm like, what are we doing here? This is the play we create to go to try to tie the game. A set piece to a center back that's going to try to volley it home on the run. This is where we're going to, guys. This is what we're creating.
Mm.
This is what this was. There was nothing in that final third at all. The three shots that were on target was Emil, who scored the first half highlight that you saw from Sofo, and Wiki Carmona. That was it. There was nothing else even close to that. That's not enough. You're not going to win the game for getting that little towards the net. And Wiki Carmona did it again that game. Pull the trigger, bro. Shoot the ball. You had
that hesitation kills me. I mean,
you had that chance, and then he passed it to Chupo, and Chupo's looking at him like, "What am I supposed to do here? What am I?" There's five guys around me now. You had no one around you. Shoot! If the ball goes anywhere, I can pick it up and do something with it. Why are you passing it to me when there's five guys around me? What am I gonna do? He's trying to dribble. He tried to dance. He tried to do everything. That wasn't working.
no.
On,
I mean, it just goes to show you that some of these players are basically playing for their jobs at the moment, and I don't see some of these guys coming back next year. I just don't. I mean, I said this during the thread. I said, it's hard to win games when you're basically playing it with bench players. I'm sorry.
It's hard to
I can identify maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys who are bona fide starters. Everybody else is coming off the bench.
It's hard to win games when you're starting you're starting 11. When you're compromising. You're not playing 11 on 11. You're playing 7 on 11. Most days.
Exactly 7 basically.
You're not. And if the guy that starts the occasional time that he actually outperforms him, and to get it close to even, then the next week he gives you the dud, which has been going on for way too long, and he continuously starts them, which is driving me bananas with Sandro. Peter Stroud, I like the kid showed a lot of promise.
Bench.
Stroud,
bench. Edwards, bench. Even that he has improved.
Edwards improved. It played great 3 weeks ago.
Edwards, bench. I mean,
I want to see Morales out there. See what we brought him in for. Let's see what he gonna. He threw the ball into the net try to cross the ball in there. See where we can maybe create something. Dylan, a good bench player to have.
Yeah, bench. Sorry, Dylan Nealis, bench.
Wiki,
bench.
He basically, in my opinion, you have to play your way to RB2 because you're afraid to shoot and pass the ball. You're afraid to do it. At that point, you shouldn't be even on this roster, on the game day roster.
No, I mean, if you can't, you can't shoot the rock. I mean, come on, man. I mean, how many times have we see him dribbling, get free, and then inexplicably decides to either shoot the ball or make a very bad pass, out of the blue.
The one play
he's got the yips.
The calamity of errors. It was Chupa won the ball on a duel, found Wiki on the right hand side. Wiki cut across and passed it to Peter Stroud, who had a step on his defender and a goalie out of position, and they both botched it. I'm looking at him like, oh no, why? Why isn't he? What? Oh, come on, why? That was a goal. What? No, your ball bounces up. Well, you can control it. Next thing you know, we get no shot. And then the other back pass, which was a great play was a nice play by Wiki. He passed it back to Stroud, and Stroud shot it right into the Pacific Ocean. I'm like, come on, guys, you got to be better than that. Put the ball on frame. You have an open look. You got to put it on frame.
This didn't happen that night.
It's not happening. It wasn't even happening. I'm like, do they have too many voodoo donuts or something? They took everything away from these guys? What's going on over here? Well, that's a great place in Portland if you ever go. try it out. So, I don't know there's nothing much else to say about this game. It's just move on, go up to Canada, go up to Montreal.
Hope for the best.
And maybe you get some life with Morgan possibly coming back with an appearance. He's practicing with the first team. He was questionable for the game, so I think They don't want to play him on the turf.
No, they didn't want. He didn't travel with the team. He did not
Maybe,
travel with the team. Can't say was wondering.
maybe you get 20 minutes with him up in Montreal. He might provide a spark that the team is technically whole even without Harper, but we'll see. They got to get up there. You're playing for your life now. You have 4 games left, and none of the games.
This is do or die. I mean,
you got.
What are you going to do? You're going to wait till you're going to wait till the decision day to actually do something? No, you're going to crank that up, son.
We did that 3 years ago. We had to wait until the decision day, until the 93rd minute before we qualified for the playoffs.
That's not going to. With 2 teams you're chasing, but with 2 teams you're chasing, there's more games than you. Miami's got 4 games in hand. Chicago still got 1 game in hand.
Now we're even with them. No.
We're even with them, or do we have? I believe they have 1 game in hand.
Let me go back and check this. Check it because
I think Chicago lost that game when they lost to City, so they got 1 game in hand.
Yeah, they have 1 game in hand on us.
Yeah, Chicago, 1 game in hand on us. Right. City did us a favor. We didn't cash in. That's the thing that's so maddening right now. That's why I said the friend of the enemy of your enemy is our friend, right?
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. That's what we have to do. Yeah, that's what we have to do. Yeah, the makeup game from that extra game that Chicago has is against Miami. So good luck, guys.
Yeah, good luck. Yeah, good luck. I mean, Chicago can still, like I said, Chicago can still slip on the banana peel, and blow their chance. But the Red Bulls have to take advantage. They have to. So that's that's the thing that's driving me. So let's talk about game balls. So for both teams, who's your game ball going for Portland?
For Portland, I liked Anthony a lot in that game. I like the 2 guys off the bench. The coach that came off the bench was involved in that game, and Velde, the 3 of them basically did everything. Velde, the import that they just got, was great for them. Anthony, the game winner, and DeCosta, when he came off the bench, he was a starter for them all year. He was basically involved in everything down the stretch. And for us, it was Coronel, because he basically stopped it from being a bloodshed.
Pretty much a multi-goal. I agree with you on Coronel as far as the player of the game for the Red Bulls. Anthony, for me, is the player of the match for Portland, because not because he scored the game-winning goal, of course, but he was a nuisance in the back. I mean,
he made Dylan Neal's life miserable.
Yeah, I mean, basically a nuisance for that man. I mean, this is why I'm a little stunned. You sign a contract. You sign a multi-year contract for Dylan Nealis, and he's regressed. Instead of stepping up, he regressed. I mean, this is this is not a time for him for you to step back on this and everything. I'm like, this is why I'm like, I mean, this is we can't really blame this naturally on Joking. There's a lot we can blame him on, but this isn't one of them. But the fans, I wonder what the atmosphere is going to be like during the Hudson River Derby. Is it going to be 70-20 City fans, because they're looking for a coronation? They're looking if the Red Bulls don't take care of business against Montreal on paper, okay, they can beat Montreal, but you're talking about a team, and this, Nick,
a place that we
there's a place that's a place outside of Chester we don't do well at. Okay, Chester, Foxborough, we don't do well. Every time we go up there, expect an L. Okay, so
it's that bell that they ring.
I'm gonna be there in person to see this bell.
The family section, man, and Stadio Saputo. That bell starts ringing when they score a goal. You want to strangle the guy next to him, and it keeps ringing. Please shut that off. I've been there 7 times in my life to Stadio Saputo. I've seen 2 goals. Thank God I'm not going this year. Work couldn't swing the days off, but I've been there 7 times. I've seen 2 goals. I've seen more people get injured than I've seen goals. I can't there again. Even though Montreal is a great city and the poutine
No,
is great.
yeah, no, it's a wonderful city, and we're looking forward to having a little poutine for lunch when I land from LaGuardia. Speaking of which, we're going to take ourselves a 30-second break. When we return, Nick will basically give you the rundown about Club de Foot Montreal and why it's such a house of horrors for the team in red. See you back here in 30 seconds. As we mentioned before, outside of Foxborough, outside of Chester, Montreal has been basically a house of horrors for our boys in red, and there's a reason why. The match day 31 to 34, kickoff is at 7:45. And when you look at the record, the all-time season series 15-10-4, but over in Montreal 2-10-3. This is their 33rd all-time meeting. Their last win in Montreal was back in 2022, August 31st. 1-0 win versus Montreal. It doesn't matter. I mean, Montreal is the team that's been, let's see, if I'm not mistaken, the last couple of days they were the Cinderella darlings in the CCL. Remember them? They were making a whole bunch of noise against the Mexican clubs. They got as far as the quarterfinals. Died from that when they went the stiffer competition, but they were definitely making the noise over in Stade Olympique, that wonderful little place that was the former home of the Expos. I saw one of the few last games there. It was the Expos versus the Cincinnati Reds, and I know that because I actually have a photo of it, of that game. So I've been there to actually watch. I've been there a couple of times. Marvelous city. Never been to see their hockey team. Every time I go up there, it's usually spring or the summer, but never in the winter. So I just don't have the stones in me to deal with the cold. But one day I might do that. Wonderful city, wonderful people, and all that. But it's a house of horrors, Nick. For these guys. What's been going on since last time we faced? The last time we faced them was back at home. They haven't done very much since then, have they?
Yeah, ever since we beat them 1-0 we beat them when they basically tanked the game to concentrate on the Canadian Championship because they were playing the second leg of the Canadian Championship because they were up 1-0 at the time, going back home to it, and so they were basically sending everybody, playing everybody short. We won that game 1-0 on Noah Ali's first career goal, so that was the game over here. Since then, they've cleaned house. They've sold all their best players. Joel Waterman was traded to Chicago. Nathan Dillon Saliba went to Anderlecht. George Campbell went to West Brom. And all these guys were sold out to move them out to get new DPs because the guy that they had on the DP, Guillermo Vironi, has 2 goals in 12 games, not producing anything. The bright light of the team has been Prince Osi Iwasu, who's got 12 goals and 5 assists.
Who I would love to have on our squad. I mean, I'm just being
Why did
honest.
they want to get rid of this 23-year-old? I have no idea. But he's been great for them. 12 goals, 5 assists. And the other main guy on their team is Dante Sealy. He's got 6 goals. Everybody else on the roster has got 1 goal. Nothing major from either one of these guys. The goaltenders are still very good. Jonathan Sorois, he got in 23 games.
It's been known to stand in his head, more than a couple of games. I saw his stat line. Am I kidding here? He's got about his shutouts. Wow,
4 shutouts. He got 4
shutouts. So, okay.
And with the back line, they wish they got rid of everybody. They brought in their new DP, Ivan Jaime from Spain, as a new DP. He's basically got 100 minutes on with the team. He just came in August. Prior to their last game where they lost to St. Louis, they were actually undefeated in 5 games, beat 3 draws and a win until they lost to St. Louis. The ironic thing of their whole season, They have 5 wins in the entire season. 2 of them against the Smurfs.
Two of them against two of
They
them
have,
against the Smurfs.
they have 5 wins all year. 2 of them against the Smurfs. Our last 5 games to Montreal. So if you want to look at how bad our trips have been up there. We had a 2-2 draw back in 2024, a 2-0 loss in 2023, a 1-0 win in 2022, a 2-1 loss in 2021, a 3-0 loss, and a 3-0 loss in 19 and 18. Yeah, 4 goals, 12 against. Yeah, House of Horrors. That bell is driving me crazy every time I've gone there. I don't want to hear it anymore. I think you'll hear it there at least once. We're going to give one up there. Listen, it's a small stadium. It's a great environment. It was more built for, I think, the USL team when they were there.
Yeah, they just expanded it. That's basically what they did. I mean, which was smart. I mean, they basically took what they had.
Nice. It's cozy. It's perfect. It's outdoors. It's a great place to be. No one bought. It's a fun thing. The ultras are on the other side where the supporter section is. The away supporter section is on the other side. We're totally away from them. It's fun. It's a nice little stadium. Everybody enjoys the game. It's a great time to be. It's a great day over there. So why don't we do good over there? I have no idea. It's been, and remember they knocked us out in the playoffs too a couple of years. If you look back in the history, they've beaten us in 2017 when we were the number 1 seed.
Yeah,
we still owe them something.
I mean, look. I mean, if there's one game that honestly they could honestly they can able to pick up 3 points is this one because they don't have much of a choice. I'm a little bit fearful of them not getting anything, going back to the Sports Illustrated Stadium and having to face NYCFC with literally the season on the line. I'm thinking the season's on the line here. Because now this match becomes a major importance. You had your shot before you got cut down by the Timbers. The Quebec boys, they're not going to show any mercy, to you guys, and they don't care. They're playing out the string, and pride is a serious weapon when they know they have your, when where Montreal basically has your number, right? It's like, oh, it's the Red Bulls. This is another win, but we're not going anywhere. We're just, we play the role of spoiler.
If you
can the Red Bulls, can the Red Bulls step up? I mean, I can see them possibly winning maybe 1-0. I don't see them scoring any more, a little more than that. And, Lisa's saying a little fearful. Yeah, a little fearful because I don't, because the season could be over by then, Lisa. I mean, if we blow it in Montreal, pack your bags. It's done.
It's done.
It's done. And whatever hope that you probably had, for whatever your activities that includes, some November footy. It's going to be with November footy with another team because it ain't going to be with the Red Bulls because they're going to be, they're going to be done so.
We'll be with Red Bull too. Yes, not with Red Bull, not with the senior squad.
Hey, hey, even Gotham FC, they're climbing up the table more than that in about a bit. They're climbing up the table. They're looking to get a home game for their playoff run. So yeah. So if you're very fearful, so am I. I don't want the season to be over by the time the Hudson River Derby second half gets gets again. And I agree with Zenden. And if we lose in Montreal, at the very least, our fans are owned a Derby win. I don't know a Derby win is going to suffice, man. I really don't. I honestly do not.
Unless you shellac them 7-0, what does a Derby win do for you? The season's over.
The season's over. I mean, and I'm going to say my piece. After we get done with Gotham FC and New York Red Bull 2 about the state of affairs about the team. I've already said this before. Got some blowback. Yeah, I did. But now I'm ready to go for another round. I'm going to offer another critique, of course, of our club and why they are in this position in the first place. So, bottom line for me, Nick, what does the Red Bulls have to do to get past these guys, because when you look at the roster of Montreal, other than Prince Owusu and maybe Nathan Saliba, Tom Pierce, George Campbell. I thought he was still, George Campbell. I think he's not there anymore. They trade. He's out.
Saliba went to They got like the guy they moved out. They got like $8 million for these guys. They moved out for, so they're reloading for next year.
Yep.
He's going to be gone because he was a waste from New England.
Luca Petresso, he's still there.
He's reliable. He's been a reliable left back, right back for them. And Samuel Petiti, he's still there. He's a reliable midfielder, but he doesn't light up the score. But he's going to do what Elman does.
He's going
to distribute the ball, try to wreck your counters.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's been doing. That's what he's been doing for so long in Montreal. That's what he's done there. That's what he's been doing. That's what he's going to continue to do.
Yeah, Samuel Petit and Matty Longstaff. That's one heck of a combination between those two. I remember, and then of course you got Giacomo Veroni. Oh boy, he's a pain. 6'2" and change. He's going to be quite of a handful for that. For that defense. But what in the world these guys have to do at this point? I mean, what do they have to do to get past these guys? Because even when you look at it on paper, they don't have very much else. I'm not saying the Red Bulls are world beat. It's not even close. But on paper,
we need
Red Bulls, okay.
We need our DPs to take over at this point. We got to jump on their back like we did in the playoffs. Do what we did with what Emil said last year. Why not us? Emil, this is you scored in Portland. You got to do that. You got to take them the rest of the way now to get us to the playoffs. The rest of the guys need to get on board quickly because you shouldn't be playing if you're not.
Yeah.
This is your season. Saturday is your season. If you think that performance in Portland was going to get you anywhere, the performance you had against pretty much every team on the road except for DC, you're not going anywhere. You want to win a trophy. The only way you win a trophy is you start winning games on the road.
I mean, forget winning trophies. They got to win a game. Okay. I mean,
the goal is something. The goal is to win a prize, a trophy. We didn't get to play. We're not getting the Shield. We didn't get the Leagues Cup. We're not getting the U.S. Open Cup. We're still trying. We're still technically still alive for the other two. The Eastern Conference one and the MLS one. Yeah, is it a pipe dream? Yes, but we still have to do something at this point to get everybody to your see what you played for the whole season is to get one of these trophies. You're still alive. Play for it. Make this like you did Make this like the 5 games you did in the playoffs last year. Do the same thing to get yourself in there, and then anything can happen. As what they say, as what the Yankees say, anything can happen in the playoffs, and we've shown it.
7 points in their last 5 games is the New York Red Bulls versus 6 points for Montreal. I mean, they know how to, the one thing about Montreal, low block, right? They'll just stack the deck and just dare you to shoot past them and hit you on the counter. This is their bread and butter, when it comes to, their offensive, their offense and defense. We'll talk about predictions, of course, in a minute. But first, we talked a little bit about, remember 2 weeks ago, Nick, you and I on this very show were worried about New York, New Jersey. I always keep doing that wrong. When I do that, I get phone calls from Gotham fans. New Jersey, New York, Gotham FC. Remember when they were floundering on the precipice of basically being knocked out, but they were in 8th place?
Yes.
The ladies are in 3rd right now. My goodness, did they fly up the table. And from what I understand, they ain't done. I mean, this is going to be, quite the run for these ladies. And it's a lot of fun. The last time they played, of course, they went over to San Diego. Of course, the wonderful one, she retired. They had a nice ceremony the game beforehand. So and everything else. But because she's out the team, well, they haven't been very much the same. We're talking about the San Diego Wave FC. 2-0. Esther Gonzalez for 45th. She's still scoring.
Yeah, nice little.
This chick hasn't stopped scoring. Esther Gonzalez in the 45th minute. Miss Shaw in the 79th. That's all they needed to take the win at Snapdragon. That's their second win at Snapdragon. The reason why we say it's their second, because their first win over Snapdragon, saying they took on OL Reign, and that's how they got their first championship. Other champion. I'm a little confused. The NWSL didn't change their name, right? No. Okay, so the league didn't change the name. I know they won a championship as Sky Blue. Shouldn't that count?
It should, but I think they. Wait, doesn't the W? I'm confused.
I'm gonna ask them. I said, wait a minute. You're walking around with 1 star upward request. Shouldn't you have 2?
Technically, yes, but I don't know what is the WSL still considered the same thing as the WPL?
I don't know. I don't know. Well, that's one of my that's one of my burning questions, because I don't see any signage or anything else like that. You won something. This club existed before you became Gotham FC. You just rebranded, just like the Red Bulls, but you began life as Sky Blue FC. I know for a fact you won something. You were walking around with a star above that crest. I remember that when I made that long walk in Piscataway, New Jersey, to Rucker campus, which, oh, by the way, you want to have a fun part? They didn't tell me that the bus service was free.
That'll be nice.
That would have been nice if they would have told me like before I made this long walk through the campus. That's okay. I got exercise in and everything else. But man, it took forever just getting there at that stadium. But
I was saying Gotham is playing great. They've been the last 5 games they've given up just one goal. They've had a problem scoring goals since the last 5. They've only given up 1, and they're 2 technically against Houston, because one's an own goal.
10 points, 10 points at 5 games. They're flying up there.
They've taken mistakes by because the first goal was a thank you, mess up by the Wave, and they scored it right on. And the second goal was a nice little cross, and then they scored on. So they're moving up the standing. Talking about a congested schedule, congested table. 6th, I think it was 7 teams within 5 points of each other from 3rd place all the way down to 8th. Yeah, you girls are gonna have a hard. The girls are gonna have a hard time. One loss can drop you from 3rd to 7th.
The 7th in a hurry. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's Gotham is at 30. Portland, the Thorns are at 30. The Wave are at 30. All 3. Gotham has the best goal differential at +10. The Pride is at 29.
Seattle Reign 27. Racing Louisville. That's still a cool name for us. Racing Louisville.
Is at 25. So you got 9. You got 3 to 9, all separated by 5 points. You got 17 by 5 points. One mistake, you could fly out of the playoffs.
Pretty much. The good news is, when it's all said and done, September 21st is their next home game. The next game versus Bay FC out in Cali. Excuse me?
You have a chance.
Yes, they do. Vancouver Rise FC Academy. That's taking place tomorrow at 10 o'clock at night. We're all going to be in our beds by that time. We'll find out. But they've been going up, through CONCACAF W Champions Cup without any problem. They've been just sliding through there. So that's their next game. That's going to take place tomorrow. The next league game is the September 21st versus Bay FC. Speaking of a team that's also going places, okay, Huntsville, Alabama. We don't usually talk about a hotbed for soccer, but they got a nice looking stadium down there, and they got a nice looking crew down there. Huntsville City FC fell to the Red Bulls by a score of 3-2. Jimenez, Hilic, and Benedetti in the 89th minute all did the scoring. Carlton and Barrett with a penalty box, penalty converted. Speaking of New York Red Bull 2, they're still in first place. I mean, they're still hanging in there. They're not going, they're not really much, going to surrender the Eastern Conference. But right now, if you look at the standings, St. Louis City 2 got 57 points. New York Red Bull 2, 54. They got Miami FC 2 next. This is going to be a fun stretch down, fun race down the stretch. Your thoughts?
I saw the Red Bull 2 up against Columbus, and they put on 7 on them. They gave up 4 after they scored 6. They scored the first 6. They scored 5 of the first 6. So they were feasting. They were running around. Listen, they got ballers up there. To be honest, Benedetti is a player. He's going to be. You're going to look at him next. He should be on the first team next year, because I think the deal is he's here on loan, and if he gets it to a certain point, we have to buy him. I think he's basically met those points at this point. Yeah. Rojas has been very good for the team. Mascara and Jimenez were great for the team, and Roland Mitchell, who was on the senior squad, but he hasn't been able to crack it coming back from destroying his knee. Scores goals down there. He can play. The midfield, we have the 17-year-old Ameti is the next Tyler. He's that gifted. He grew, yeah. And he like 2 years ago, I saw him last year. He wasn't that tall. He grew for like 4 inches in a year. The kid looks like he's the real deal. He played in the Leagues Cup game. He played like the final 10 minutes of the game against our last game in the Leagues Cup. Listen, they're in first place. They need 4 points, or any combination of 4 points. They clinch first, so they get to pick their opponent in the first round.
Which is something that scares me a little bit. You pick the team, and they wind up beating you. I mean,
you're setting yourself up for. You're giving the team motivation to come up to campus and to come up to the campus and beat you. Listen, it's a fun. If you've been to the campus up at Montclair State, it's a great atmosphere.
It is.
You're right on top of it. You're right on top of the game. You're right on top of the field. It's perfect. It's small. It's a small stadium. If you fill the joint up with 2,500,
it's going to sound like 50. I mean, it is.
It's like Red Bull Arena with everybody banging on the aluminum seating. So you will have it's a great time. It's a perfect place to watch a soccer game on a Sunday. Yeah. Too bad the games are at Sunday at 8:00. But what are you going to do?
Yeah, what are you going to do? The next game is Sunday versus Inter Miami 2. That kickoff is scheduled at 5:00. They have 2 more games after that. That's the end of the season. Here come the playoffs. They go on the road for FC Cincinnati 2 on October 1st, and then they return home for season finale against Toronto FC 2. That game is scheduled at 1:00, and the gentlemen will be there. We have to make our appearance on that particular match because Mark demanded it. So
I'll be there too, yeah.
Mark was like, "You gotta come to the game. I'm sick of you guys not showing up." Yes, all of us will be there. So stop by and say hi for the season finale October 5th, and after that, playoffs. It's kind of sad, and yet I'm proud and yet sad that that the women are basically they're definitely on their way. They need to get a couple of points to secure a berth. Okay, they probably maybe 6, about 6, to secure a berth. Red Bull 2, they're on their way. The only team that's in doubt is New York. It's the senior team right now. The senior team is basically, on, at risk of being knocked out. I mean, 15 seasons in a row they've been in the postseason. That streak is in, serious jeopardy. But I have to ask you, Nick, I mean, is it really worth talking about being in the playoffs every year if you can't, as you know what they say, you can't win it if you're not in it. But you're in it, and you made one trip to the final, 2 trips to the final in 15 years. That's not a very good stat, don't you think?
Oh, listen, our playoff. We found ways to lose playoff games that are still boggles my mind.
Stuff a legend.
And yeah, and I've seen the last in person games on the road. I'm like, how do we lose to the? No. Yeah, the bus ride or the car ride back has been very quiet and painful.
Brutal.
Coming back home, but listen, at this point of the day, yeah, making it is impressive. 15 years is impressive, but in 15 years, how many times have we actually passed the first round?
Yeah.
2018, yeah. 2017, no. Down the we won the playing game. Yay! Only to get smacked by Cincinnati. Last year we ran wild. And the other couple of times we've been eliminated in the first one game. It's been one game knockouts.
One game knockouts, one and done.
So, whatever. Yeah, there's a lot to make in the playoffs. There's a lot to go in, and we've had home games in the playoffs that we've been one and done on. So it's tiring to go into the playoffs and just walk in and then lose. It's got to end at some point. It's 30 years for a championship. Come on.
And that's a perfect segue of what I wanted to talk to you, talk to the folks about. I mean, if you remember my last complaint to the team about Jokin not making himself available to the fans and answering very hard questions about the team, and only to get canned scripted answers. That's not what the fans want. They want they basically want action at this point. It's the inaction that's driving everybody nuts. So this is why I say at this point, should the team do not make the playoffs, they deserve to get lit up. They do. Those guys deserve to get lit up. I mean, you and I are both on the record that if
I said this privately.
If Jokin is still on if Jokin still has a job, after all said and done, then that basically tells you what how the team feels about the fan base.
Yeah, you're 100% right. If the fans want answers, and most of them have said that in the inactivity that the Rebels don't care. I put it in quotes. They do care. It's their way is different than what we want. That being said, if you want not to get the pitchforks and the brimstone to come to Rebel Arena on the 27th, you have to make the playoffs. And not making the playoffs, you have to make a deep run in the playoffs. Otherwise, Johan should not be back. And I'm not saying that he has to be. He should be. His track record has gotten him to this point. Unfortunately, this is just. You're on your third manager technically. You had Struber, that didn't work out. The interim guy.
That didn't. You could have kept him, but nope, didn't work. You went to your guy.
Sandro is your guy. He looks like he's a good fit. Did you give him anything to work with?
No, and that's my. That's
what we've been saying. And if you do the status quo, that you don't make the playoffs and you still keep Johan, you're going to get a lot of. You're going to prove everybody that you don't care.
And that's not what you want. That's not what you want going into. That's not what you wanted. Going. Because even even before they made that, they made that fan. And what made it, the playoff run fun is that there was no expectations, none. Nobody, didn't expect them to make the playoffs. Nobody expected them to get that far. That made it fun. But then you know what happened? You saw what happened, Nick. As we got past every round, past every team, all eyes was on the Red Bulls. People were talking up Red Bulls. Hey, we even got a nod from U.S. Soccer. When the hell did that happen? We get a pat on the back and attaboy. Congratulations for making the Eastern Conference Final. Congratulations for winning the Eastern Conference Final from U.S. Soccer. When's the last time? People were actually, and then the game happened in Carson.
We got fans coming, but they came back out of the woodwork. They were disassociated with the team because they were so disappointed in them. They were coming back in droves.
right? People were like, "Whoa, they're winning." I mean,
They're here.
but then
They're in the final. Oh, I'm gonna go watch. I'm gonna go next year. I'm happy that they're back.
cheering them on and everything else. I don't blame those guys. I don't
And then
blame them. They thought that this was it. This was this was going to break the duck. This last year was going to be the year where we don't get here any nonsense about no cup. Well, LA Galaxy said, "Hold my beer." Okay. Then we heard what happened in Andres Reyes disappeared or was removed. I'll say it again. If Andre Reyes didn't get sick or what have you, those 2 goals don't happen. Okay. You had to press a very ill, Noah Isla into surface and hope for the best. Okay. And last time we saw Reyes, he broke his leg over in San Diego FC. He was out for the year. He'll be back next year. Buyer's remorse, whatever I say. But this is what I'm talking about. It's managerial malfeasance, okay, to not stand in front of the fans and answer those questions, okay? Excuses are done at this point. I mean, you got nothing to hide right now. So if your team doesn't make the team, I honestly think managerial shakeup needs to happen, and I don't mean and I'll be I don't mean fire Sandro. No, you can't fire. I mean, you didn't give him anything to work with. Okay, the team that he had to work with fell through injury. No excuses. You know what they say. The beat goes on, but then again, you got the head of sport and you got the sporting director. Basically, in my purview, they're doing the same job. Okay, and you're trying to tell me that you can't find dedicated ballers, young, hungry, dedicated ballers that might fit the system. I got people yelling at me, there's no strikers in USA. I just showed you 2. Okay? Remember what I said about the top 10%? Those are it.
Charleston better. You got 2 of them.
Yeah. Those guys, look at the goals they scored. Those are double digits. They're creaming, bro. They're creaming dudes.
Almost 20 goals in USL.
There ain't no strikers at USL. What?
I don't need a fine. You don't want a striker? How about a winger? How about a creative midfielder?
Give me a box to box. Give me a box to box midfielder
who we haven't had since CCJ left.
Ever since CCJ left, we haven't had a guy like them. You replaced bodies. You didn't replace the talent, and that is what I'm nailing. Joking with, plain and simple. So I agree with you, Zeno. Poor management breeds complacency. Okay, if you're afraid that you're going to get fired, you can just sit on your ass and and twiddle your thumbs. Meanwhile, Rome burns. That's not what I want for my soccer team. That's not what anybody wants for their soccer team. But this is what we have. And for the simple fact, I mean, if you're going to, as they say, what did Anthony called it? Annoyingly German.
Yeah.
If you're going to be that, be better. That's all I'm saying. Be better. Be better than just annoyingly German. Show some, I don't know, initiative.
I look at it. I know we've had a private discussion in our chat group with all the guys on the podcast. Johann's brought in 30 guys. How many guys have you said, oh, that's a slam dunk that he's nailed? Okay, Chupo's one.
Yeah, Chupo's one.
Chupo and Emil are 1 and 2.
Yeah, 1 and 2. You still got a DP slot open.
Who's the 3rd and 4th guy? Off the top of your head, that you say, "Oh, that's a great move." This kid Gustav could.
Gustav could be it. I mean, but again, he's just one piece of He's just one piece of a puzzle. I like to have someone with Gustav's skill.
How about the other 19 guys Hack? No. Edwards, no.
I like Hack as a person, but no.
Edwards, no.
Not in my back line.
We paid to bring back. You got Kyle Duncan back on loan, and then we paid to keep him. Why? Did you not learn from the first mistake? You brought him back, and you kept it. You're paying him an extraordinary amount of money. Is he a good bench play? Sure. Is he starting 11 material? Not really.
No, really. None of those guys are MLS starters.
You have, as I'm saying, you nailed the top two, which is great. You moved off a certain your other DPs and other players, which you got something for them, which is great financial.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Brilliant. Great. I'm going to credit you for that. But how about the other 16 guys? Well, everybody's a tweener. He might be good. He might be.
Your 16 guys. Your 16 guys are from New York Red Bulls too. That's not going to get it done. It's not going to get it
done. Dunkar, I don't know. Mosquera, I don't know yet. He has barely played. I can go down the list, but I'll be here for 20 years playing it. What are these guys going? We don't know.
And the ones that you do know, they're not going to be here very long. They're going to disappear.
The other 22 guys that we signed, Gengar can't make the starting. They can't be in the 20. Noah Eiley, okay, you nailed. He's shown a lot.
Yeah, definitely nailed Noah.
And Victor Bogarts, we don't know yet. He's got a great goal. One. He's played in RB2 a couple of games and showed that he's better than that level. But has he gotten consistent enough playing time to show that he's actually worth the money that we transferred him for?
No. Not saying there was a. I keep him around for a while, but he needs more seasoning. He needs to go to striker school.
This is what we have. This is why everybody's upset. The misses outweigh the hits. You have 4 hits on his thing. Yay! Okay, Johan, you brought in 30 guys. You only have 4. If you did that in any other sport, what's that? You're not even batting 200 in baseball. You'd be gone.
You'd be gone.
You're not sitting.
I mean, he did the same thing. He did. I mean, I got my guy. I told you about him. My guy Derek, over in Germany. I mean, big shock. Big Shocker supporter. When when Joke and Schneider was the head of sport over there, they got rid of him. The fans was like, "What are you doing here? What are you doing? You're not doing nothing." And every so once in a while, I hear from him. You getting tired of this guy yet? Y'all need to chase him off your club like we did.
Wasn't he the guy that got regulated?
Huh?
Wasn't he the GM?
Yes. And then supporters were screaming for talent.
They haven't been back since.
They were screaming for talent. Almost to the point where they damn near burned down the stadium. They were screaming for that. Didn't happen. Told fans, all will be well. Everything will be okay. No. They got relegated. And they haven't been back since. So that's why every so once in a while I hear from him. You tired of this guy yet? I know I am.
You said it right the other time because you might be great to hang out and have dinner with, but you can't run the club.
Cool. I mean, I spoke with him. Cool dude. I like him. We have great conversations. But as far as running this, oh boy. I mean, if that's what, we can't wait another 30 years for a championship. Most of us would be gone by that time. But no. We need to bring in somebody that is going to bring in talent. Okay? Bring in talent not just to compete, but to win. And that's what fans want to see. You put a team that's out to win and they do it convincingly, consistently, watch that place gets filled up. It's happened before.
When we were at our peak, did you know Daniel Royer before he came here?
No. But he was a solid baller.
We knew who Shasha was because of the Team USA. Yeah. But when he came here, he was different. You didn't expect him to be your number 10 and carry this team. You didn't expect that. And he knew what he was doing on the field. Dax the same way.
Dax the same way. Did anybody knew about Dax McCarty other than the fact that he was an MLS journeyman?
No one knew about Felipe. That he was an.
No one knew about Felipe. People knew about Felipe from Montreal that he was a pest, but he was perfect for the system. Those 4 midfielders were on the starting lineup nearly every single game. That's how solid it was. And it was the midfield that ate up the league.
Oh, please. Lisa, thank you, but I don't want that headache. Maybe. I
mean-
I won't be able to. No, you guys don't think my way. No, you're not going to do it. Thank you, but no.
No,
I'm not going to argue with what they think is what their approach is and what my approach is. No, we're not going to be able to we're not going to be able to agree on anything.
I mean, this is where it is. So this is where it stands right now. With 4 games left, it seems that the biggest game of the year will be in Montreal. That I will be there. Person, hope to see many of you guys make the trip. If you do, God bless you. I don't even know why you would, unless you're looking for some pain along with that poutine. But yeah.
If you're going to Montreal, Peel Pub was a good place to watch a soccer game in the morning and afternoon before you go up to the stadium.
Yeah, so that's what I mean, I hope that I'll run into some of you guys up there on Saturday because I'll be touching down very early. Up in Montreal. I come from JFK. Many times I've taken the trip, Nick. I took the train. This is my first plane trip to Montreal. I never did air.
Yeah, the airport's 20 minutes away from downtown, so if you're staying in downtown, you'll be fine.
Yeah,
a little as of late, but it's a fun time. Listen, you got tons of bars and restaurants and
yeah, I've been there lots. I've been there. Like, this will be my 4th trip to Montreal. It's a nice town. I like it. I mean, it's pretty cool. Just got to get past the French, but it's a cool place.
They need to bring a baseball team back up there.
Big time. That city is crying for it. Bring back
the Expos, please. It's a great place.
It's a fantastic road trip for anybody up there. And of course, naturally, if you hear that wonderful music, it simply means we have run out of show.
Prediction.
So, prediction. So, what's our bold prediction for the game?
I'm going with 2-0 us. I have a feel. Emil and Tribo each get a goal, and we take them back home. 2-0 us. I don't think Montreal has much of anything in the back line to hold Chupo down. I think we get 2 when we go home. It's not going to be pretty, but we'll get it done.
I'm going to go with a nail biter this time. I'm going to go with a 1-0 win. It's going to take that much because I know what Montreal is going to do. They're going to park the bus, and then they're going to dare the Red Bulls to score. This is what they do. I mean, every time we face them, this was the same MO. They ain't got enough. They got just enough firepower to beat us, but defensively, not much else. So that's how it is right now. Lisa is saying it's going to be 1-1. And she's also suggesting that we two just run the team for a year and see how it goes. Can't be worse. No, it can't be worse, but something would be better. Let's put it that way. So, with that said, we have reached the end of our show. If, of course, you miss, the live stream that's happening right now, don't forget you can catch the replay on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. X, formerly a Twitter, and of course our home from the very beginning, Spotify.com. All of this new episodes, including this one, will be uploaded on Wednesday. And of course, if you have any questions, comments, or anything else, any feedback, feel free to drop us a line on our email address is rbdgthepodcast@gmail.com. So for Nick Lianos and myself, thanks so much for joining us in the last hour. We will hope to see you guys on Saturday. Till then, take care, good night, and goodbye for now.